Hello, this is George F. Miller. I'm Vice President for Customer Relations at the First National Bank. You have a sizable account with us, and there's a situation here in the bank we'd like to discuss with you. Confidentially, of course.
Excuse me, but I wonder if you could help me. You see, I'm totally lost here, and I'm looking for the 4300 block on Maple Avenue. I just don't know where I am.
Say, I was just driving by. I'm working on a place about 2 blocks down the street from here, and I happened to notice your roof. It needs a little work.
Something's wrong with my roof?
Maybe, but maybe not. Maybe this man is facing a confidence artist. Male or female, they come in all colors, shapes, and sizes. They come with different stories, plans, proposals, deals to help you out, get you something you need for half the price, to make you lucky, even to make you rich. They all share a knowledge of human nature, what you might call a good working knowledge of human drives and human weaknesses. They're all skilled in using this knowledge to get the same thing: your money. So they look for some victim who will help them out. The victim could be anyone who's friendly, lonely, or gullible. There's one thing you ought to know about anybody working a con. A con artist doesn't care about you or anybody else. His victims are not people. Each one is just a nameless pigeon, a mark to hit for easy money. That's all that counts. And there's something you ought to know about the victim, too. There is, somebody observed, a little larceny, a little greed in all of us. The games the con man plays are as old as the hills, but someone falls for them every day. And there are 100 variations to every con game. With this in mind, let's look at some of the cons or swindles somebody might try to pull on you, especially if you're retired and seem to have money in the bank. More especially if you live alone. And even more especially if you're an older woman with any liquid assets or anything else that can be converted into cash.
Hello, this is George F. Miller. I'm Vice President for Customer Relations at the First National Bank. You have a sizable account with us, and there's a situation here in the bank we'd like to discuss with you. Confidentially, of course.
In this con called the bank examiner, the swindler makes his first contact with his victim by phone. Calling himself a bank officer or a detective or by some other official title, he says some accounts at the bank, including yours, show large withdrawals. He suspects a dishonest bank employee and wants you, as a valued customer, to help trap the thief in the bank. The phony bank examiner, whatever he calls himself, and he may even have identification, tells you to go to the bank and, from a certain window, withdraw a large sum of money. You follow instructions and put the money in an envelope. This you seal and deliver to the bank examiner or his partner who is waiting outside. He thanks you and asks you to say nothing of this to anyone. You are told that they will immediately redeposit the money into your account. Nothing to worry about. The bank will be so grateful, they may even reward you. But it doesn't work out that way. A few days later, when you go back to the bank, there is no record of a large deposit in your account and no bank investigation. All you find out is that you've given all that money away. You were conned. The pigeon drop. Another swindle for which the victim need be only friendly, trusting, and just a little greedy. Out on the street, you, the victim, are approached by a pleasant woman who begins the con.
Excuse me. Oh, but I wonder if you could help me. You see, I'm totally lost here, and I'm looking for the 4300 block on Maple Avenue. I just can't seem to find it.
She's looking for an apartment, the woman says. She's finally gotten the money from her late husband's insurance company. It all comes off so easily, this casual conversation between two strangers on the street. It could happen to you anywhere. But now your chatter is interrupted by another woman. Have either of you, she asks, lost a package? No, you haven't lost a package. Is there a name on it? No. Well, maybe we should open it, look for a name or address. Why, what do you know? It's money. Money? Yes, lots of money. And there's a note. It's gambling money. Why, if it's turned in, the police won't know whose it is. Why, we could keep it for ourselves, split it 3 ways, but not spend it right away. We'd have to keep it until we know it's safe to spend. Why shouldn't we? We deserve it. Wait a minute. Just in case we have to return the money, how do we know you won't spend it? Now, you have to show me you have money of your own. Well, fortunately, one of them, that nice woman who was lost, has her husband's insurance check. But what about you? You have to show good faith, too, both the other women say. Just go to the bank, the woman who found the package suggests. Get some money. Put it in this purse so we can see it. So, you go to the bank and draw out your money. Now they want to count it. One of them does. The other distracts your attention while the purse is switched. And guess what? The purse in which you think you're taking your money back to the bank is stuffed with old newspaper. You've been conned. Another con artist to look out for is the home repairman. He arrives at your door to warn you in a friendly way that the driveway, your siding, or maybe your roof is in sorry shape.
I was just driving by. I'm working on a place about 2 blocks down the street from here, and I happened to notice your roof. It needs a little work.
Yes, your roof's in trouble. And so are you, if you believe this man. He sounds good. Just finished a big job in the area. He has leftover materials he'll have to return to stock or just let go to waste. Of course, it's against company policy to use this stuff on another job, but, well, your roof is really in bad shape. And since he's in the area, you can save yourself a buck. The company he works for will never miss the stuff. Why should you miss the chance to save? Later, if you complain, the phony contractor may remind you you've accepted stolen goods, so you can't call the police. So you pay. You'll never know if the roof will leak until the next rain, but you do know you were taken by that nice repairman. You were conned. Are there other confidence games? Unfortunately, yes. There's the charming but phony city inspector, who flashes his teeth and a phony but official-looking ID. He has to check the wires, the pipes, or the furnace in your home. Just routine. And he finds, you'd better believe it, a serious problem. A violation of the city code that has to be fixed today, or the county or city will have to shut off your service at 5 o'clock. He waits to see the look on your face that tells him you're hooked. And then he takes you gently off the hook. It just so happens a friend of his is a repairman. Now, if this man does the job for you, the so-called inspector knows it'll be done right. He won't report the violation. Oh, sure, it'll cost you something extra, but, well, if you fall for the inspector pitch, you'll find you've been swindled again. The contract man or woman is another con artist on the prowl to take your cash. He or she brings you a gift and maybe a special trial offer, good only today and only for you, for nothing down, small monthly payments. Just sign the dotted line. Never mind what the small print says. The contract is just a formality to keep the record straight and help you get your product or services right away. Well, what do you get? Well, maybe you just committed yourself to payments for the rest of your life, or even signed away the deed to your home. Because if you signed a contract you never read or didn't really understand, the chances are that you were conned. Advertising a quality item well below its normal price and selling out just before you get there is another confidence game or fraud. It's called bait and switch. Because when you get to the store, you're switched from the baited ad that brought you in to another brand on which they make more money. A takeoff on a legitimate advertising technique. The healthcare field is also, unfortunately, mined by quacks who practice fraud and deception. Don't be fooled by claims that, for example, quote, the AMA Medical Trust prevents this effective medication or form of therapy from being generally available to the public, unquote. Beware of direct mail ads for cure-yourself plans and devices like the radiation bracelet that cures arthritis. Faith and psychic healers also solicit contributions through the mails. In recent years, a con man called the Preacher collected a fortune in contributions from his victims, 80% of whom were elderly women. Remember, anybody can be swindled, even you. And remember the things you can do to protect yourself and the hard-earned money you've saved. Be aware of the fact that the con artists are really out there after your cash. It's all they want. Be suspicious of anyone, with or without identification, who wants you to take your money out of the bank, especially if it's just to prove you've really got it there. Be cautious with strangers. Don't discuss your financial situation with someone you don't know. Watch out whenever anybody offers you something for nothing. Remember, there are no free lunches in this world. Look out for yourself. Deal with reliable contractors when you have work that needs to be done. Never sign a contract you have not read and don't clearly understand. If a store doesn't have in stock the product or brand that's advertised for sale, don't buy. Be suspicious of ads or mail that comes to your home or friendly folks who make their homespun pitch on the air to solve your problems, cure your aches and pains. Don't be a victim. Remember that if somebody offers you something for nothing, that's exactly what it's worth. Don't be rushed. Be suspicious. Ask questions. Verify official credentials. You worked hard for your money. Hold on to it. Don't let anybody con it away from you with a swindle or a fraud.